Good morning, everybody. I hope all of you are doing great. So, I'm going to share my screen first of all. Safulya, I hope you can see my screen. My screen is visible to everybody.
Yes, Anil, I can see your screen.
All right. So, yeah, uh, today we are going to discuss about the electrical circuits using AutoCAD. AutoCAD is one of the buzz product of Autodesk. Everybody knows that. And AutoCAD is not kind of a specific industry product. Like you can we can't say that you can use AutoCAD only in architecture industry, in manufacturing industry, mechanical and automobile. But it's there is a versatility in this software. We can use it. We can use this product everywhere. That's why this tool is known as AutoCAD Vanilla, because we can use this product in all type of industries, depends upon your requirement. So similarly, in today's webinar we will discuss like how we can utilize the AutoCAD for electrical drawings. Like if you want to create some electrical circuits using AutoCAD, and then you want to apply some attributes and you want to convert those into the blocks. So let me show you here the agenda for this webinar, where we will discuss about the electrical circuits, where we are going to draw some electrical components in our existing layout, and then how we can define the block items. And then if you want to create your own palette in the existing tool palette, that can be done, and then you can save your all the block items in your own palette. And if you want to use the attribute, so attribute is kind of a smart text in AutoCAD. Like whenever you want to add some annotations, but you want software to prompt you that you want to specify some numbers, some words, or anything. Or suppose you want to provide information related to the existing components or the objects. So that can be done with the help of the attributes in AutoCAD, which are available. And we will use all these things, and we'll put all these different kind of objects in one drawing, so that you can utilize these commands. So here I'm going to show you a simple sketch. You can see. So this is a layout where we are going to discuss tools of AutoCAD, and we are going to create this electrical layout. So you can see in this layout we have the walls, doors, and a few windows, and then some electrical components are placed in the different areas. So we are going to create all these things with the help of AutoCAD commands. And then after that we will convert these components into the block items, and after converting the blocks we will save those components in our tool palette, and we'll also apply some attributes. So for attributes, how can you utilize the attributes here? So you can see in this layout, we have some fans, uh, lights, and then switches. So suppose you want to find out the total length of your wire from some common point, from this point, like what would be the length of the wire which we require to create this layout, like up to here, how much the length of the wire required. So that can be smartly identified with the help of the attributes, which we are going to utilize in our drawing. So let us switch to the AutoCAD now. All right. I hope my AutoCAD screen is visible to all of you and my voice is loud and clear. All right. So just just give me a moment. All right. So here you can see uh, I already created the layout so that we can save the time, because I really don't want to waste the time in creating this layout here, because our main focus is like creating the electrical component circuits, and then blocks, attributes, and everything, right? So first of all, I already have created this object, and if you want to create this object from the existing image, as we have the reference image, you can also do that. And it's always the better approach, the best approach, I would say, whenever uh, you are creating anything, any project in AutoCAD, always create layers. So layers are the best thing by using which you can control the visibility, what to plot, what not to plot, and the various properties of the components by changing the properties from layers only. Otherwise, if you are going to do those things individually for the components, that will consume a lot of time. And obviously, if you are consuming a lot of time in defining the properties only, that will increase the total time of your project, and there would be less productivity. Okay, so you can use layers. Here we have layers in our ribbon. So you can just click on the drop down and you can see the existing layer. Suppose if you have any image for the reference purpose and you want to save your time, so you can simply attach the image here. So for that we have few tools. You can simply use copy paste, like you can copy the image from your folder wherever your folder is, and then you can paste that image in your like in AutoCAD. So suppose I have this image, I'm going to copy it, and then here I can simply right click, sorry, you can simply use Control V for pasting, and then specify the point wherever you want to place it, and then you can specify the scale. So whatever scale you require, you can specify, then hit enter key to accept the rotation angle, and there you go. And now you can take a reference from this image. You can use the caliber command to specify the exact size of your image according to your drawing. Suppose here I have this wall, and but before that, this image is too big. So I need to create something because see, when I'm moving my cursor over the image, my cursor is not even visible to me. So first of all, I would suggest select the image and press Control 1 for properties. From there, you can specify the transparency. You can control the transparency of this image. Here we can see we have transparency. So just make it, we have a range from 0 to 90. So whatever you want to specify, you can, let's say 79, and then close it. You can see your image will be transparent, and then you can easily see your cursor, where your cursor is, and you can easily start drawing. So suppose you want to scale your drawing according to your object. So I'm going to create my object first of all. Make sure that your units are according to your drawings, and I hope you know that we can use units command to specify the units. So here suppose I'm going to make it 15 feet. So just make 15 feet, enter, and then enter. My line is there. My drawing is not according to that component. So you can use the scale command to align, to define the exact scale so that you can trace the existing image if you have the image reference. Okay, so then you can just go to scale. SC is the shortcut for scale. Select the image which you want to scale, then hit enter key, specify the start point. Suppose this is going to be my start point, and then here we have the copy and reference. Because we have the reference of this line is going to be my reference object. So just choose reference from your command line window area. Specify the first corner point, the second corner point, the second end point of your drawing first, because this is going to be my reference. So first I need to specify the reference, and after that, oh, I wanted to pick the endpoint of image, not the line, because line is my reference. Again, scale, select the object you want to scale, enter, specify the base point. My base point is common, so I'm going to use this one. Then reference. Now start picking first point and then other endpoint of my image, and then the scaling reference is going to be here. Then click. Now you will see your image will scaled according to that drawing, and now you can simply use trace. Like you can just trace the existing edges of your image to complete your drawing. So this way you can save a lot of time, right? Anyways, this is just the practice if you want to use the existing references. And now I'm going to move this component because I really want to take reference from here where I want to place all these electrical components. So for the electrical components, I need to create some layers. I want to put everything in the different layer. Like I have fan, I have a light bulb, and then I have switches, right? So here we have layers. You can simply press LA from your keyboard, and otherwise here we have layer properties where you can access the layer properties command. So click on layer properties and you will get this dialog box where you can start specifying the layers, their properties and everything. So first of all, here you will find the button to create a new layer. Click on it. As you click on the new layer, a new layer has been created, and then you can specify the name for that layer. Suppose here I want to specify the layer for this bulb. So just make it light bulb or bulb. And then you want to specify any color. So let us make this bulb in different color, something in yellow. Okay. And line type, line weight, everything is there if you want. But as of now, I just want to specify color. Again, create another layer. And this time I have a fan. So I can simply make it a fan, and then color for the fan. So let us make it something white, or white is already a by default color. So I'm just going to make it something like cyan. And then for these hidden lines, so these are going to be a kind of a wires. So I can get another layer of wire. And then for this wire, let us choose the different color of let us use this green color for the wires. And then this is in hidden line, so I want to use the same line type for this. So here you can see we have continuous. Click on it, and as you click on the continuous, you will find all the line types available. Sometimes you will just find two or three types of lines, so that on that case you need to hit load button here, and once you click on load, it will open another dialog box where you can specify all the line types are available. You need to select, you can just press Ctrl A to select all and then hit OK. So this will give you the message because I already have all these line types loaded. That's why it's giving me the message that reload the line type, this one, reload all selected line type, skip reloading the line type. So as I already have, I can use the skip, or I can use the reload the line, reload all selected line types, right? But as if you are getting only three type of lines in your line type dialog box, then you will not be able to find this dialog box. Then here I want the hidden line type for this. So just find out the hidden. I have a hidden here. So again, these line types come with the various sizes, like hidden with the normal scale, hidden 2 with the half scale. You can see 0.5 times. That means half scale. And hidden x2 means 2 times. That is double scale. So that depends upon your drawing again. If your drawing is too small, then you can use the half scale. If your drawing is an average, you can choose hidden. And if your drawing is too big, then you can use the hidden 2x. Again, if this is not sufficient, later on you can change the line type scale of your lines. Hit OK to accept, and hidden 2 has been assigned to that wire type of layer. And after that, we have these switches here, right? So again, I can get another layer, and let's make it as a switch. And then for switch, I want to specify a different color, this one, something like sky blue. Okay. And line type, let it be. I don't want to specify any other type of line type. So these are the required layers for me. Let me check. Yeah. So these line types are enough. These layers are enough for me. Now I can close it. And after closing it, let us start drawing. First of all, let's start with this living room area here, where we have these two bulbs, a fan, and these two objects are looking quite similar. So instead of creating both these items, you can simply create one item, uh, this fan, these two bulbs, and after that you can just simply place it right here, or you can copy. So let's create, and instead of creating a simple item, suppose you want to make some changes later on, so it's better to create the block item of these components. So let us start. First of all, let me activate the layer of this layer for this bulb. So here from our ribbon, you can click on the drop down, and once you click on the drop down, you will find a layer drop down where we have the bulb. Choose bulb. Now start. So I can create a circle here, So I'm just using a random one, something like this. And you can see there are a few lines as well. So I can simply create a line here from center point at an angle of 45 degrees. Perfect. And then you can use trim to remove this area. You can see this area is not there inside the circle. Then now we can, to create the other four items, you have two options. One, you can use the mirror tool, by using which you can mirror this item this side and then these two items by using the quadrant like 0 degree and 180-degree quadrant to specify a mirror line, and we can create the other instances on the bottom side. Or we have the second option that is called as array. By using array, you can also create these four items. So I'm going to show you, I'm going to brief you both these items, both these commands. So first, if you want to create these items with the help of mirror command. So for that we have mirror, and you can simply use mi. So I'm using the shortcuts because shortcut is the best way to work in, to create the projects with in AutoCAD. If you want to use your toolbar to do all these things, you can, because see, in ribbon we have all the draw tools by using which you can draw line, you can draw circle and everything. And from modify panel, here we have all the modify tools. Like you want to create a mirror, so here we have mirror. You want to create any pattern array, here we have array. So as of now I'm going to use mirror, so you can simply click on mirror here. Otherwise you can press mi. Mi is the shortcut for mirror. Press mi from your keyboard, hit enter, select the object you want to mirror, this one, hit enter to accept. And then and the other thing, I just want to suggest you, when you are working in AutoCAD, you just look at this command line window area. So this will act like a guide for you. It always asks you to do the next step. So if you are looking at the guideline, there are less chances to for you to do the next step. So this will guide you. Right now the command line is asking me to specify the first point of mirror line. So I can specify the first like this quadrant at 90 degree and the other quadrant at 270 degree. Click. And after that, after specifying first and second point for the mirror line, the software will ask you whether you want to erase the source object, and there are two options, yes or no. And there is a less than greater than sign, and this is specifying as no. So that means this is the by default value. Because when you are trying to mirror anything, the by default approach is always don't erase the source object. So anyways, here again I don't want to erase the source object, I want to keep both. Hit enter to accept, and then there is nothing in the command line area. That means your command is finished and we have created two entities. See, we have created the mirror. And again we can create the mirror instances for these two by using this 0 degree quadrant and 180 degree quadrant. Again use mirror, mi is a shortcut. Select the items you want to mirror, 1 2, enter. Then specify the first quadrant here, second quadrant here, 0 degree and then 180 degree. Then again hit enter to accept, and there you go. See, this way we can create this light bulb. So this is one option. And the other option by using which you can create it, that is array. Let me show you that. I just have created a copy. So for copy you can simply use co is a shortcut for copy. Else you can use the copy command from your modify panel. Here we have copy. Select the objects you want to copy. I just want to copy for this item and this item. Hit enter to accept. Specify the center point for positioning, and then specify the destination point where you want to place it. So I want to place it here, then hit escape. And now we have this item. I want to create four instances for this entity, this small entity here. So we use the mirror command here. Now we are going to use the array command. So here you can see we have array, and you can also click on the drop down along with the array. That will allow you to choose the direct option which you want. Because if you are using the simple array, then you need to specify the array type. But as we know that these items are aligned according to this circle, so that is under the polar array, where we can specify the angles, angular values. So choose polar array directly from the drop down. Now the software will ask you to select the object for which you want to create the array. So this is my entity, select it, hit enter to accept, and after that it will ask you specify center point of array. So a center point is going to be like the center of the circle, because we need to create the items for this entity around this circle. So that's why this is going to be my center point, kind of a fixed point. Click on it, and as you hit the center point of the circle, the software will automatically give you few items. You can see 1 2 3 4 5 and 6. So by default we are getting 6 number of items, but in this case we require only 4. So here you can see from the dialog box, from your ribbon area, the items. So items are 6. Instead of 6 I can make it 4. Then just make it 4. So software will automatically do some calculations and give you the other variables, other parameters. You can see between. So between means the angle between two instances, that is 90 degree, and total fill angle. So you want to fill, obviously we want to fill these items in 360 degree, 0 to 360. That's why by default approach is always 90 360, like 360 degree fill approach. Rows, we don't require any rows. We just require these number of items along this circle, right? Levels are in Z direction. This is in X and Y plane. Okay, but we don't need these items here. And then you can just hit OK. And the benefit of creating array with by default approach, right now this associative option is not active. So if I'm going to turn on this, this is something like good option in array command. Just turn on it and then close this array. Now see, if you are selecting one object, other objects, other instances are also selecting. And if you are trying to pick from here and trying to pick and drag it, what will happen? See, it is automatically changing the total angle, right? And if you are picking from the last one, see, something like this, it is decreasing the number of items. So this is the benefit with help of array tool, but with help of mirror, you will not be able to find those options, because these are just individual entities. So it's up to you how you want to make it. But anyways, here I'm okay with this option. If you want to keep this one, you can keep. You can use the move command, M enter, select the object, hit enter key, specify center point, and then place it somewhere wherever you want. So I can place it here. So suppose these items I want to put in a different layer, and I don't want to show these items here because these are just for the reference purpose, right? So I can just go to the layers, layer properties manager, where I can create another layer. I already have a layer that is called as reference, where I have placed some reference items, and you can see this item is freezed. Okay, so freeze means we cannot see the items which is inside this reference layer. So simply you can also freeze any other layer like this layer, and this is the active layer, but the difference is you cannot freeze the active layer, huh? See, if I'm trying to go to the layer properties manager, you can see a tick mark in front of bulb. Try to click on freeze. This will give you the message this layer cannot be frozen because it is the current layer. Okay, so you need to be take care of this thing. So suppose first of all, let me double click on zero layer to activate it. Now this layer is activated. Now bulb layer is not active. Click on the freeze. You are able to freeze those items, and if you are checking, see, those bulb items are not visible to me anymore. Okay, again layers, and then unfreeze the bulb item so that we can see the items available here. And then this item, select it and put this item in this layer, that is a reference layer. So the software will automatically hide that component. One or more object has been moved to a frozen or turned off layer. That's okay. I just want to keep that for the reference purpose. Like later on, if you want it, you can turn on that layer, unfreeze the layer, and then you can use that thing. So this is one object. And now, uh, instead of creating the other objects just by using copy, let us create a block of this item. The benefit of block is whenever you are going to make any changes on this, those changes will reflect on other items. So for block, we have B. B is the shortcut for block. Hit enter to accept, and then specify the name. Let's say the bulb, and then pick point. I'm going to specify the center point of this bulb, and then object you want to select, click on it, and then select the whole object. Hit enter to accept. Now you can see we have a bulb icon there. Object is selected, and convert to block means we are converting the existing item into the block as well. We are creating the block, or and plus we are converting the existing item into the block. So let it be, that is also okay. Open in block editor, like if you want to open this object in block editor, if you want to apply some parameters, actions, then you can open. Otherwise it's okay, I can uncheck it. And scale uniformly. Later on, whenever you're going to insert this block in your drawing, you want to scale it uniformly or ununiformly, that is up to you. So let it be if you want to scale it ununiformly. Allow exploding means we can explode this item into the normal object. Hit OK to accept. And then the block definition has been changed. Do you want to redefine it? Yes. No. Convert to block. We have already selected it. Okay. Redefine. Correct. Now you can see when you are moving your cursor, the whole item is selecting with one go, and there is only a one grip item. So that means this is a block. And if you want to insert this block, we can simply use insert command. I is a shortcut. Press I, enter. A dialog box will appear where you can find out. See, we have a bulb. Click on the bulb and then where you want to place it. You can place it wherever you want. Let's say I want to place it somewhere here, aligned with this object. Then close it. See, there you go. Now if you want to make any changes, those changes will reflect to the other item. And now let us create this fan item, right? So suppose I want to take a reference of this image to create the fan. So I can simply but for fan, let me change the layer to fan. Here we have fan. Now start with the help of a polyline, and then let's say from this line here up to this line, and then I can simply use arc command inside the polyline. This flexibility is there, and then again go to the line, up to here, and then again use the arc and close it. Done. We have got the one item. And same way, again I can use the array. AR is the shortcut. Else you can click on the drop down, choose polar array, select the item, and this is a polyline, so you just need to select one item. It will automatically highlight the whole entity. Enter. Then for center of rotation, I can choose this point here. And for number of items, these are again 1, 2, 3, and 4. So make it 4 from your ribbon area. Click anywhere else, it will automatically update that thing. Hit enter to accept. All right. Now I want to connect with with these lines. I can simply create a line from this point to this point. Again, from this point to this point. All right. And there you go. Again, I can create a block of this item. So first of all, let me move it. Enter. Pick from any point and place wherever you want. Let's say I want to place it here. Something like this. Then let us use the block again. B, enter. Then fan. Pick point. This point here. Then select the object. This object. Hit enter to accept. Oh, okay. There you go. This is also a block item. And now for this wire, right? And first of all, before the wire, let us create the switch. So again, change the layer to your switch layer. There you can use annotations, right? This dollar sign. So you can simply create a text here, and then start placing text somewhere. You can specify the text height, and then type this sign here, dollar sign. Close the text editor. There you go. The symbol is small. Double click on it, select it, and change the size. Let's say 1. 1 is too small. Let's make it 10 times. Close the text editor. Yeah, now that is fine. Now I can just rotate this item to align here, align with this wall. So you can simply use the rotate command, select the item, enter, then specify the center point and then rotation angle. Now you can place it wherever you want. Select the item and then move it, and let us place it here. And then you can create the copy here. Now we can create this wire with the help of a hidden line, and in this layer, that is a wire layer. So now switch to the wire layer and then start creating it with the help of, this is kind of an arc, you can see. So we can use the arc command. You can press A, or here we have the arc command in our ribbon area. So you can use the arc tool here. You can click on the drop down, choose 3-point arc, and then specify the first point. I want to start from here. Specify the second point. Let us specify here, and then third point. I should have specified third point in between. 1, 2, and then 3. Now you can see we have got the arc. But this arc, you can see this line type scale is something different. This is not properly visible to me, so I should increase it. Select the line, Control 1 for properties, and there you go. From properties palette, you will find line type scale, which is 1. Let us make it 6 times. Enter, close the dialog box, hit escape key to deselect everything. You can see our line type has been updated. After that, these two objects are connected, interconnected. So again, I can choose the same command and start 1, and I can specify the second point somewhere here, and then third point here. You can see that. And now there is a difference in between the scale of this item and this item. So I can use match properties, MA. MA is shortcut for match properties, and then you can match the property of this item with the other item. And same way, we can connect this item here with the same command. 1, 2, and 3. Again, use the match properties, and there you go. So this way you can complete this electrical component layout. And now for this area, for this room, this is almost similar. So instead of creating it individually, I can simply use copy command here. Select these items which you want to copy, all these items, hit enter key, and then specify the base point, and then the point where you want to place it. I want to place it somewhere here. All right, there you go. And same way you can create these items here. So I can now I can use copy command instead of creating everything, because I already have these items. So let me place one item here, and then hit enter, again enter to repeat the last command. Select the item you want to copy and then place it here. This is fine. And here we can create these switches with help of copy command again. As these switches are placed one this corner, somewhere here, then you can copy, and then you can paste here with the help of copy command, and then you can connect with the help of arc, starting from here, second point, and then third point. Again, repeat the last command. Just hit enter key. Again, hit enter to repeat the last command. And till here. Then use match properties to match the properties. Well, you can simply change the by default line type scale, huh? If you want. So for that, you can go to line type, that is LT, enter, and inside the LT, you will find this dialog box where we have all the line types. So you can select this line type. You can go to the details where we have show details, and inside there we have the global scale factor. So we have two options: current object scale, like the current object which you are using. Global means you are changing the global scale factor. If you are using this line in your project several times, so it will automatically give you that line with the specified scale factor. By default it's 1. That's why we need to change the individual scale factor, because this is the individual scale factor, current scale for these individual items. Global means the global for all these items, right? So that can be done. And after that, here we have these items. Again, I can place with help of copy tool. So let me copy this item here and place here one, and the other item I can place here, and then copy, switch system, and then place here. One, two, and after that you can connect with the help of arc again. Okay, so arc starting from here, second, third, same way I can connect this one, and then match. So this way you can utilize your AutoCAD commands to create these electrical equipments, circuits, and everything. And after that, we just created the block. Suppose, and the benefit of block is I want to add it these bulb and these fan items, right? So you will get to know the benefits. Just double click on it to add it, then it will automatically give you that block in the dialog box, that is added block definition. Hit OK to accept, and then start editing whatever you want. Suppose I need to create another circle here, so something like this, and make sure you are specifying the same layer. LA, choose bulb, close it. Now create that object so that we are putting the object in the actual layer where we want. So I just added a circle. Well, you can do other changes as well if you want, but I just created a circle as of now. And then close the block editor, save the changes to bulb. You will find all those changes in other items. The benefit of editing, like creating the block item. And the second thing I want to show you about the attribute. So attribute is like, as of now, we know that we have created everything on the XY plane. That is, there is no Z factor, there is no elevation. But if you want to specify some elevational value to these items, suppose I'm going to move this item to some specific height, 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's say select all these items, huh? Only these bulbs. Hit enter, specify the point, and then specify the value where you want to move it. I want to move it with 0. In X, I'm not going to move it anywhere. That is, instead of making it directly 0, use the relative coordinate system, 0, comma, 0, comma, and in Z direction. So in Z, I want to specify some height, let's say 12 feet. Enter. These items has been moved with some Z factor. You can see when you are orbiting your model, you will find their elevation, right? But in top view, it will look like that the object is at its actual position, right? So now here, the thing which I want to do that matters, that is called as the attribute. So we will specify the attribute to find out the actual coordinate of these items from some specific point, so that we can find out the total like total length which require for the total length of the wire which required for these bulbs, right? So that can be done with help of command, that is attribute. So I already have this component. Let us use this component as the to specify the position of the attribute. So for attribute, you can simply use att, which is a shortcut for attribute, and then tag. Suppose I want the tag as a coordinates. So let us make it codes, CORDS, codes, and prompts again, like what it will prompt you. And here we have defined, this is important. So we need to specify this attribute with using this existing object. So click on this item here, insert field, and then it will ask you to specify the field category. So category is all. So instead of all, I need to choose object, and inside the object I need to select the object. So here we have block placeholders, count, formula, named objects. I need object here, so choose object, and then object type is my object. Click on this small icon, select the object, which is the object type. Now see, it will give you block unit, color, layer, line type. What do you want? I need the exact position of this item for x, y, and z coordinates. So here we have position. So choose position accurately, and then the values, like how you want to show, in feet and inches, millimeters, centimeters, or how you want to show it. I want to show in the current unit, and the current unit system is that is feet and inches. You can see in x this is 7 feet 5 inches, 7 feet 5 0.1495 inches. Y this is 29 feet, and then Z this is 12 feet. So which is the current value of this object. And here we have the coordinates, like you want to show the coordinate in X and Y only, or Z as well. Here, hit OK to accept. And then here you will see in default area, it will automatically pick the default the position of the item from its existing position. And then justification, where do you want to place these coordinates as an attribute, left, standard, and height. So height, again, I'm going to specify with the existing items. Let us make it 6, and then OK. Then where do you want to place? So all right. And to find out the exact coordinate for this item all the time, let us convert this into the block item, so that we don't need to create this attribute for all other items here, right? So and the benefit of creating the block is we can also save this item in our palette, and we can use in other drawings as well. So suppose I want to show some kind of a leader. So for that leader, I'm just creating a line here, nothing much, just a line. And right now this is in code, this code's in is in simple layer. So it's up to you, you want to put in a different layer, but as of now I'm going to put this into the 0 layer. And let us turn on the 0 layer again, so that I can create the component to put into the 0 layer. I have created a line just for the purpose, so that I can specify a leader, place it here. Now block B, enter. Now this is for position, so let us make it position only, the name of the block, position. Pick point, I'm going to pick this as the point from a block, and then select the object, select 1, 2, and 3, this item as well. Select all the items, hit enter to accept. Now I want to open this in block editor so that I can apply some actions and parameters. Hit OK to accept. It will give you the coordinates in the prompt area. That is okay. And then here, in any case, if you want to stretch these items, this item, this leader, so that you can place the coordinates according to your requirement. So here you can apply some parameters. So we have a point parameter for stretching purpose. Place it, and when you place the parameter, it will give you this exclamation mark, because we have not assigned any action to it. Now go to action, and then here we have a scale or stretch. I need stretch actually. And then it will ask you to select the parameter which is specified. So this is my parameter, and then select the object you want to include. I just want to include this area. So create a window, then select codes and this line only. Don't select the block item because we don't want to stretch the block. Hit enter to accept. You will see that exclamation mark will gone and replaced with this icon here, that is stretch mark. Then close the block editor, save the changes to position. There you go. It will automatically give you the exact coordinate of this item here. So which will give you the correct data of this bulb. So in x-axis, this is 7 feet, 5 something inches, 29 feet, and 10 inches in y, and in z, this is 12 feet dot. And this is point up to 4 decimal places. Again, you can specify that while creating the block, right? And while specifying the attributes, there you had this option. And now I want to place this item for other block, for other bulbs. I want to specify the coordinate. Then simply use copy command, select it, and then copy from here and just place here. See, right now the items are has items first. And now zoom in. Now you can see all these items. This is 7, 29 feet, 29 feet, 29 feet. Regenerate your model. Just press RE, hit enter key to accept, and you will see as you hit RE, you will see this is 23 feet, 19 feet, 23, 10, 13 feet. So all the XY values has been updated. And now if you want to like move it, just select it. Because of that stretch, see, this is the benefit of that stretch which you have specified. Okay, in parameter and action. So this will allow you to pick and drag it and place it wherever you want. So this is really a good thing where you can use all these block items, attribute items, and you can create electrical components. And after that, you again this object again, I want to put in the reference one. So select it, control 1 for properties. And from layers we have layout. So instead of layout, I want to put this into the reference. I want to hide that. Close it. Now see, I only have the drawing, and I want to use these block items in other drawing as well. So you know that whenever we are creating a block, simple block, we can use that particular block in the existing drawing only, not in any other drawing, right? So for that we have the tool palette. So for tool palette, TP is the shortcut. You can simply press TP, enter, and you will get this dialog box where you can see the tool palette, and there are a lot of palettes available. My block. This is again the user specified palette which I have created. Modeling is there, constraint is there, annotation. There are a lot of palettes actually, right? Electrical components if you want, mechanical component if you want, architectural component if you want. So you can directly pick and use these items. These are the block items, simple block. You can create your own library and you can save. Okay, this is the existing library of the software. Civil items, structural items, and hatches. I want to create my own library, which I have created. Suppose I have created this bulb item, this block attribute, and everything. So just right click anywhere on this palette. It will give you this pop-up window where we can specify a new palette. Click on new palette and then give your name. So this is electrical palette. Enter. So I have created this electrical palette. Now I want to save all these drawings into this all these components, these block items into my palette. Save your drawing first. This is the first and important step whenever you are trying to save your block items into your own palette. So save the drawing first. Now select the item. Now pick from here, drag it, and then drop it here. You can see the position that object has been placed there. Same way, this is a simple block item. Pick and drag and place it here. Come on. Pick, drag. I hope this is a block item. We have converted everything into the block. Well, this is the way sometimes it happens. You can place all these items same way. I can select this one. You can drag it and then place it here. See, the text is also inside your palette area. This should also come. Yeah, now it's coming. Don't pick from the grip area, otherwise it will not allow you to place. Just select from somewhere else and then it will allow you to place everything in your uh, library, in your own palette which you have created. And now you can use this palette in any other drawing. So just open any other drawing and now you will be able to see the palette. And if we have palette, if we have all these items, we can pick from here, drag and then drop. So this is the benefit. Otherwise you would have not used these block items in any other drawing if you have not created your own library. So this is the way by using which you can utilize the AutoCAD commands to create all these type of electrical circuits, electrical diagrams, elements, and then you can convert those items into the block items, and then you can also use the attribute along with blocks to specify their position, and we can use everything together. So this is all about our today's webinar. Now, if you have any question, please let us know.